When it comes to health, what you say to yourself is probably the most important thing, or what you just say in general, not just to yourself, but just when you explain things, when you're thinking about things, the energy that comes from the words you say is actually very powerful. All right, guys, hey, I'm still outside. I love being outside, and I think this is no better way to shoot videos on your mindset of health than to be outdoors and getting the vitamin D coming down on me, sun rays, good oxygen, the earth right here. And hopefully, I know we're behind our office. They probably spray this full of all kinds of junk, but do the best you can, I guess. But I just love being out in the wilderness. But that actually has nothing to do with this video. What I want to talk about today is the words that you're actually using in your daily life. When it comes to health, what you say to yourself is probably the most important thing, or what you just say in general, not just to yourself, but just when you explain things, when you're thinking about things, the energy that comes from the words you say is actually very powerful. And I've heard this before, but we're like our biggest critic and our best friend. We talk to ourselves more than anybody else. You're around yourself more than anybody else, but you also make fun of yourself, or you put yourself down more than anybody else. You're your biggest critic. And if we shifted that, we actually have the opportunity to be our biggest fan. And I don't mean be all about yourself and just talking about yourself, but the way you speak to yourself is very important. So simple things, simple tips I'm going to give you today, and start to look at this throughout your day about what are the words you're using. So look at the things like I can't, right? And we see this with our kids all the time. It's just like, I can't do this, Daddy, I can't do that. And like, no, you can. You just haven't gotten there yet, right? So if there's something you haven't been able to accomplish, instead of saying I can't do it, I want you to shift your verbiage and say, I can do that, I just haven't yet. I know that I can, I just haven't yet. Or if it's something like, hey, I need something. Instead of saying I need this, I don't necessarily need it, but I really want it. Those are things that like actually talk positively to yourself. Or when we look at things and say, I'm just so whatever. It might be, I'm just not good at, I'll use my particular one. I always say I'm not very detailed, and I'm not very good at the details. I used to always say that. And then one day I said, you know what, you're not very good at the details because you keep telling yourself you're not very good at the details. What if you just start saying, I'm not the best at the details yet, but I'm working on becoming better, and every day I'm getting better at the details, and I'm getting better at the details because I think that way now. And so this idea of how you talk to yourself, remember guys, we're created. Like God says he knows every hair on our head. That means you are a valuable individual. I don't care if you think you are, or if you've seen that you are, or if someone tells you that you aren't. You are a valuable individual, and you have a power inside of you, especially if you're a believer that the Holy Spirit is there in you. And for you to think that you're a vessel of the Holy Spirit, but then you're not valuable and that you're not powerful, and to speak down upon that, I mean, that's one of the worst things we can do, but it's just become our culture and just how we do things. So throughout this 21-day reset, I would love more than anything to shift our thinking about how we talk to ourselves, shift our thinking about how we talk to the world. Like when you're talking about people that maybe you don't love, or you should love everybody, right? But the people you feel like you just are annoyed with, or you aren't enjoying being around, we tend to talk about those people, and we have a negative talking. But the problem is that negativity actually affects us more than it affects them. So how are we talking about other people? How are we talking about ourselves? Use that. Words like not, can't, won't, I'm not good enough, I'm not valuable enough, I'm not good at this. All those things right there are things that you want to start to look at. So use these as triggers. And maybe I've heard this before. I don't do this, but I have in the past when I wanted to change my verbiage to myself, is I had a rubber band I used to keep on my wrist. And every time I would say something negative to myself, or I'd have a negative self-thought, I would pop myself, and then I would say something positive. And it's like a quick nervous system shock, and I would reset that thought. I can promise you, I would say I was probably one of the most negative people, complaining about everything over my life. This hurts, that hurts. And my wife would even say, you're always complaining. And now when I look back at it, I'm realizing, because I realized that and I started shifting my self-talk 10, 15 years ago, I really don't have that anymore. Obviously we always have a little bit of that, but at the level I used to, it's completely different. But in a week of doing it, it didn't change. Maybe even a year of doing it didn't change. But 10 years later, I feel like I'm a much more positive person than I ever would have been if I didn't start paying attention to it and focusing on it. So that's my thing for you guys, for you guys today, is to focus in on what you're saying to yourself and start to shift it. If you say something negative, just shift it into the positive. And it does matter, and it will make a big difference in your life and how you feel. Okay, so that's my mindset for you guys on this 21-day health challenge for you and reset. You guys are doing amazing. Keep up doing the good work, and keep sharing this kind of stuff, because this is what people need. They need positivity. They need to start speaking to themselves more powerfully. It will build them up. You guys have an awesome day. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to connect with us and learn more, we're constantly shooting information or shooting videos. We actually have a blog as well, and we have a website where you can learn so much more. If you want help with your health, you can actually connect with us, come into our clinic, or jump on a phone call with us and see if we can help you. To do that, go to the links below in the information area and click those areas, and then you can move forward and see how we can actually address and help you with your health issues as well.